Yo, what's going on, you guys? Your boy Pony Montana, and today I have a very special video for you guys. We are going to be going over how to beat 335 odd. Now, this is a very highly requested video. It's pretty much on how to beat blitzes and stuff like that too. There pretty much is no true way to ID this blitz for the simple reason that what makes this blitz so good isn't the fact that you can't block it. It's the fact that you get shedded against it. Now let me tell you this right now. You get shedded, that is on EA. EA is pretty much telling you it's time to go night night. GG's, have a good day. Whatever. Like, the game is against you at that point when they're getting random sheds in 335 odd, because they can get sheds from anywhere. They can get an insta shed from the D-back, they can get an insta shed from the defensive tackle. The looper can get an insta shed, or the outside linebacker if they end up blitzing all six. They can all end up getting insta sheds on you, and that is possibly the most frustrating thing to end up having to go against, is an insta shed. That you pretty much can't beat. There's nothing to beat that. But this video is to kind of help beat 335 odd, because there's one specific thing in 335 odd that makes it very dangerous, that a lot of the crossfire blitzes have, and that's the 3-reg. But before I get into how to pass against it, one of the main things that you guys should be doing against 335 odd, and excuse me if I forgot to say, hit that sub button. We're on our way to 1 million, and we can't get there without you subscribing to the channel if you guys haven't already. If you guys are, make sure you leave a like. It definitely helps the channel grow. Share the video. Let your friends know how to beat 335 odd as well. I appreciate you. But 335 odd. One of the main things that you guys can be doing against 335 odd is simply running against it. Everybody gets so worked up when they see 335 odd, when you can literally completely torch it on the ground. Any nickel formation you can pretty much beat on the ground. Just run away from the D-back. Simple. Run away from the D-back. Depending on what the D-line is showing, just run away from the D-back, and you guys should be absolutely golden when it comes to running against 335 odd. You see a lot more people complaining this year about the run game being OP. Well, there's got to be some type of correlation. If the run game is OP and everybody, 90% of the community is in nickel 335 odd, there's got to be some type of correlation when everybody is spreading their D-line and the run game is quote unquote OP. I don't have a problem stopping the run game, but I mean, there are some like spin moves and there's some juke moves that seem like they're kind of OP. Like, I've even been trying to like strafe a lot, and I still have been getting spinned out of my shoes, and I don't know what I'm supposed to do there. But other than that, if everybody's in 335 odd and they're spreading their D-line, I'm running at you. They don't like getting hit in their face over and 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 over again. Like, they don't want that type of punishment. Get out of 335 odd. So one of my favorite plays to be running against 335 odd, one of my favorite formations is single back ace slot. Now, you can find this formation in a lot of playbooks, but I'm just going over this for 335 odd. Now, the main setup for 335 odd is this. I'm going to be sending 6 people. I'm going to man up my user, who's Patrick Chung right now. This is supposed to be a linebacker spot. Let me tell you guys this as well. If you guys don't know about 335 odd, you can put safeties in these 2 spots right here. These are 2 linebacker spots, but for some reason EA allowed this, and I think this is what's ruining the game even more, is people having the option to have a strong safety or free safety in the linebacker spot right here. It's not good for the game, because it leaves salary cap teams literally to Apke and Tarvarius Moore, who are like low cap dudes that can somehow get sheds against linemen. It's weird. It doesn't make sense. But if you guys are facing this type of 335 odd, all you got to do is run the ball. Just run it down their throat. A simple halfback dive literally can take you so far. Now, obviously, he ended up getting a shed there. That is Hightower, but do not give up on the run. That's one of the most crucial things that I can tell you guys, is don't give up. if somebody's coming on 3-3-5 odd, I would literally run the ball 3 times and hope that I can get some yards on it. That time I ended up getting a good 5 yards, which is fine. Which is perfectly fine. I ended up getting 5 yards there on 3-3-5 odd. Remember, if I run that 2 times and get 5 yards each time, guess what? That's a first down. A lot of people are just trying to take the top off of 3-3-5 odd for the simple fact that, hey, they're blitzing me, so I should be able to do this and I should be able to do that. No, just take your yards. Simple. Take your yards. It's not hard. Just run the rock on them. Pound it down their throat and run the ball. Everybody wants to be this glorious passer when they face 3-3-5 odd when you don't need to do that. Literally, you guys can torch people on the ground if they're running 3-3-5 odd. If you see me in 3-3-5 odd, I might have a little more run defense, but that's just because I prepare for that. I like having balanced teams just for the fact that if somebody tries to run the ball on me, I can prepare for that. Now, obviously, that is you just end up getting sucked into the D tackle, but running the ball is the best possible way to beat 3-3-5 odd. And I'm also doing this with 2 different controllers, so obviously we don't have a true user, but I am manning up Chung on the user just to, just to show that even if the user is there, we can ball on them. As you can see, have a little patience on the run. We're just running down the person's throat, and we're gaining 5+ every single time. Run the ball. Now, if they're not spreading their D-line, but they are, they are bringing the guy in, blah, 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 doing their whole spiel. I took the liberty of putting my second favorite play in this formation, the stretch. Now, the way that you run the ball against 3-3-5 odd, that their D-line is not spread out, is you just run a stretch. Run an outside run. But the way that you run it, you have to run it on to the opposite way of where the looper is going. Now, you know which way the looper is going, obviously, by the opposite guy, because 10 times out of 10 times, this guy is going to be roaming around, and you'll know which way to shift the play. You'll know which way to shift the run, pretty much. So I'm going to end up going on the D-line, and if they are running this, run a stretch. Make sure, look at how many yards we got on a simple stretch to the side where the guy is looping. Now, the reason that this happens is because the guy is looping the other way. So if you're running the side that he's looping, he's giving you a head start. Now, your job is simply just to outrun that guy. We end up getting a nice lead block by the guard, but he's literally helping you out. They're helping you out by you running the opposite way of where they're looping. Obviously, if this guy ends up shedding faster, you get tackled, yada yada. You already know what it is. If they get sheds, there's nothing you can do about that. If they get sheds, they get sheds. I can't help you guys out on that one. But as you can see, stick to the run. It helps out tremendously. It really, really does. It helps out very, 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 very well. Like, there's not much that somebody can do if you're just sitting there pounding the rock on them with a good O-line. You obviously don't even need to have like a crazy O-line. You just have to have a little bit of patience on the run to help you guys out. Very, very simple. Now, the types of runs that beat this type of 3-3-5, obviously your inside zones, your stretches, your halfback dives, your 0-1 traps. 0-1 traps are very, very good because if you have somebody who has a good user, and sometimes if they have a good user, they can shoot the gap on halfback dives. Now, that is simply on the user. There's nothing that I can do about that. That's just the user being good enough to do so. Now, 0-1 traps are very, very hard to do that with because of the simple fact that 0-1 traps, the type of blocking, you have a lead. You have a guard pretty much pulling in an 0-1 trap. You have a guard pulling in an 0-1 trap. On top of that, they're running 3-3-5 odd, which should be open for them to being torched. So, I'm gonna man him up on Sony Mitchell, and the 0-1 trap, as you can see, the blocks get there. But they did get block sheds, but the 0-1 trap, literally, if your blocks hold, you're gonna be getting a lot of yards with an 0-1 trap. Because 0-1 trap it kills it, as you can see. Now that one, we left the guy blitzing, and the loop was the way that the 0-1 trap was running. But you can see even still, the blocks are so good that you can still get yards on it, because 0-1 trap is a very, very good play. Now that, the inside zone out of these formations, halfback dive, stretches are very, very good. Now, let's take it on to passing. And I'm only going to show you guys one play with this specific type of way of beating 3-3-5 odd. Now, if they're running 3-3-5 odd and they're blitzing a ton of people, yada yada yada, you guys have been having a lot of trouble against it. Now, once again, do not run the same play over and over again. Don't run the same play over and over again. Now, I took the liberty of turning my 3-3-5 odd into and put it into having like a cover 2 shell. Now, the offensive play that I'm running is verticals. You can find this in pretty much every single playbook, and that's why I'm going over this specific play, because this verticals play is probably one of the best plays to run against 3-3-5 odd. The simple reason is because they're going to be blitzing you a lot if they're in 3-3-5 odd. Any good player is going to be blitzing you a lot. Now, this 3-3-5 odd play, what you want to do against 3-3-5 odd is you guys want to play a spread offense. Even if this isn't a spread type of offensive formation, you want to play a spread offense against it. And a crucial thing that you guys need to know when you guys are facing 3-3-5 odd, I will show you guys that in a second. Just let me run this play. Now, this verticals play, you have nothing but reads to make. And as you can see, I'm getting a nice 20 plus yards. Now, I'm going to show the replay on that. And this verticals play, you motion this guy out, they have to be worried about that. No matter what, they have to be worried about that. This verticals play, this is their user right here. This is the guy that they will be using. And if they're sending all 6 people, this verticals play is amazing because of the separation that all the routes have. Now, you have your running back that's going up. He has to make a choice on whether he wants to guard the running back, the tight end, or this route. If he doesn't put like a flat or man this guy up, this guy will be open as well if he's running against a cover 3. So this route ends up open as well. As you can see, we see him that he's kind of leaning towards where the running back is and the deep middle play, the deep crossing route. So we end up dotting up to the tight end for a nice gain of a good 10 yards. A lot of people have all 5 routes going out in a nice spread. If you do that, you guys will be able to make a read, but it's got to be a quick read. If you see that they're blitzing 6 constantly, you have to start hitting your quick reads. This is one that leads you up the field, and that's why I'm showing it to you guys instead of showing you guys, a different way of doing so. Now, I'm going to show you, obviously, like Pat Sale. That'll be next. But one thing that you guys can do to really, really help yourselves out is simply just have all 5 routes out on the field. Not only does this help you guys with beating 3-3-5 odd, but it also forces them to start putting some people in coverage so they can't blitz you every single time. Not only does it do that, but if you guys are forced to make quick reads, it also teaches you like muscle memory types of things. It helps you realize better when blitzes are coming, so you guys can start making better reads when people are blitzing you. So when you guys have 5 routes out there, like making that quick read is going to make you a better Madden player in general. Now, I have faced, like, if I come out in 3-3-5 odd, there's people that come out and they end up trying to torch me out of like an empty set, which is amazing. Like, there's some people that actually end up dotting me up out of an empty set, and I'm forced to sit there and change up my defense and start playing a little extra coverage and hope for a shed on the 3-3-5 odd end side. Like that, like I'm forced to hope for a shed while I'm playing coverage. Now, obviously, it goes hand in hand with confusing the offense. Same thing with confusing the defense. Like, sometimes you don't want to send all 5 guys out. And if you guys don't want to do that, there is obviously concepts that can help. But the problem with running concepts like this against 3-3-5 odd, and they work beautifully. They work beautifully, but it's just we're going back to more meta. Now, obviously, one of the most popular plays in the game is Pat Sale. We're gonna come on 3-3-5. And one thing that I didn't tell you guys yet, if you guys are facing 3-3-5 odd, one huge thing that you guys can look at is where the linebacker is. As you can see, this guy is fat and this guy is not. You guys should know where the linebacker is or what the linebacker looks like as soon as you get out of that huddle. Even if they go and they press, you guys should automatically know which one is the linebacker. Now, why this is so crucial when you guys are passing the ball, because a lot of the good players, they leave this guy right here in his zone, and he's in a 3-rec. Obviously, the 3-rec, it guards the 3 receiver side, and then it guards the middle. So if I put one of the guys down on a drag route, he'll end up guarding that drag route because EA's that's just like, if they have good zone, they'll end up guarding the drag route. Now, I'm not gonna play anything. I'm just gonna run the play. But as you can see, the 3-rec was guarding. Oh, that's a dot. Oh, okay. The 3-rec went to guard the drag route. He jumped down for the drag, but the route concepts were kind of weird, so he ended up backing up very, very quickly. As you can see, he's looking at the drag route right now. He's looking at the drag, but then this guy ends up coming over, and that's why 3-recs are so dangerous, because if you end up throwing the drag quick, that 3-rec might play the drag, he might play the post, he might play it. Like, it's very, very weird on what the 3-rec plays. Very, very hard to tell exactly what you should be passing to, because as you can see, he comes down enough to play the drag. As you can see, he's right there underneath a drag route. And then he immediately cuts back to the post. Now, obviously, you can kind of get past that by simply just, hey, I know where he's at with the linebacker, and that, like, you see the linebacker that's on the left side, you know that safety is in the yellow zone, the 3-rec. Now, obviously, they can put him in your regular yellow zone, but we are gonna run our blitzing whatchamacallit. Before I do this, let me back the ball up, because we are in a Pat Sale. Means we are gonna be trying to throw the ball deep on people. Now, one of the most popular plays that you guys have been seeing a lot is Pat Sale, because the route concepts. Now, these type of route concepts you guys can bring onto the field with anything is a post route, an underneath drag, and a streak. The streak is to bring up any deep zones that are back there that might play the post route. Now, the post route is there to get above. The post route is there to get above any zone that's there. Now, the O route is going to be either a slant or a drag. Now, you want that to be a slant or a drag for the simple fact that you want their user to come try to guard that underneath, or you want that to kind of just to confuse whoever the user is, because one of those routes is going to end up open. So we're just going to put them on the drag for now. So we're going to set up our 3-3-5. We're going to send 6 people. We're going to put Chung on a whatever. We're going to put this guy in. We're going to put him in a man coverage and block. So we're going to motion Hogan out. This is our play. Now, I told you guys before. Look at Pat Sale. Pat Sale gets wide open, and they're sending 6 people. I literally just set up the proper 3-3-5, and we sent 6 people. But this is how you beat it. You have an underneath route. You have a post that comes you have to make sure that the post comes across the field. Now, they did introduce chemistries into the game, the deep route running specialist. Now, I have never used them, but I know that they allow you to put a post on the field no matter what play you guys are in, which opens up playbooks tremendously. Now, the only sad part is the fact that you have to pay for those chemistries. But, you know, I actually didn't set up 3-3-5 odd. So, boom. We're actually going to man him up on... Okay, let's man him up on Hogan. And all right, let's leave that there. We have him manned up on Hogan. We're gonna guard. We're gonna user this guy, and boom. That's gonna be the play.
Let's go.
You can put this guy on a hitch. You put him on a drag. You put him on a slant. Doesn't matter. You can run a a version of this in every single playbook. I'm talking trips tight end. I'm talking wide trips. I'm talking double. No, maybe not doubles. Whatever. Just this type of route concept destroys anything in the game for the simple fact that, oh, you see how he got that? Now we got the drag that's open for a good 5 yards. Even though he was manned up, we have our zones on the outside, and it's still, you can still beat it. And people are having a terrible time at beating 3-3-5 odd for the simple fact that they can't pass on it. But this is how people pass on it now, is they have 3 routes going out. And I know it sounds super cheesy. He has 3 routes going out, and sometimes you can't stop it. I know it's cheesy. I know it's trash, but that's just the game that we're given. So we have to make with what we're given. You know what I mean? So 3-3-5 odd is the meta, so we're all gonna run it. And also bunch is one of the metas, so I'm kind of teaching you guys a very, very good play out of bunch as well. As you can see, no sheds. He actually got the shed on me. But you seen that we had square coming up over the top. And if square is that open over the top, square ended up getting open over the top. But the 3 rack, as you can see, is the best thing to avoid. If we just lobbed it over his head, it would have been a GG. Obviously, this is all different with a user. The user might end up playing the 3 rack, and then you might have to make a different read. But you're blocking 7 people, so you're expected to have a little bit more time than if you guys are blocking just 5. You know, the blitz is 100% gonna come in if you're blocking 5, but if you're not blocking 5, it should be a GG. Now you guys might be thinking to yourself, okay, well, what if they don't? What if they have? I'm gonna put Chung in there. What if they have like a cloud flat on the outside? That's why I said to have a deep post. That deep post is going to beat that cloud flat over the top. Now, obviously, it's EA, and that's stupid. You guys are probably like, that's dumb as hell. If he doesn't get the blitz, I'm just going to show that for the simple fact that he got over the top of the cloud flat. Doesn't matter who they have there. This Pat Sale, we have the drag open underneath, or the slant. This Pat Sale gets open. Look at the separation that he has against that cloud flat. Now, this route concept, if you guys can find it in other playbooks, obviously you guys can use that route concept against this too, but you guys have to make sure that you guys can block enough people. Now, let's run it one more time, and then we're going to get up out of here because this video is ending up being a little too long. So boom, we have crossfire set up. We move this guy in for the contain, yada yada yada. We're gonna put Chung on a deep mid read, and boom, we got our guy in on a hitch instead. So the hitch goes, ends up batting it down. Now it looks terrible right now, but Brady is very fucking slow, dude. It looks terrible right now, but trust me, this is one of the main plays that everybody is using online. So, and I'm just putting it in a cover 2 shell, but this is one of the main plays that everybody is using online. Is Pat Sale, and they're just motioning the guy out, calling hike, and they're making their read as they go. As you can see, he is open over the top. Doesn't matter who's down there. And that's a perfect way to end the video, you guys. This is how to beat 3-3-5 odd. I apologize for it being so long, but we did have to go over some crucial things. Remember, the 3 rec is going to play the stronger side of the field. It's going to play the 3 receivers. That's just what it's either going to play, the 3 receiver or the 3rd receiver, but either way, that receiver is on whatever strong side of the field is beyond. So, yeah. This is how you beat 3-3-5 odd. You can't beat a random shed. As I showed, like, literally, even if you block all 7 people, somebody is still going to end up getting shedded through, and that's what's frustrating about 3-3-5 odd. But hopefully you guys can take hopefully you guys can take some of the things that I showed you and bring it on the field with you guys and start torching this defense, because I know it's frustrating, because sometimes I even get frustrated with it. And I'm a good player. I like to consider myself a pretty decent player, even though some people consider me a mutt bum. I like to consider myself a mutt bully. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the tips. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. This was a pretty long one, so I need to get up out of here. My name is Pony Montana. I will see you guys in the next video. As always, 2 fingers, you guys.